All right, Coach, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right, guys.
Yeah, well, just kind of first off, wanted to get your thoughts on facing Utah in the first round. That was one of the latter teams you played during the regular season. I know they dismissed their coach the following day, so I don't know. Are they running any? Do they look any different with the interim coach, or just kind of what are your initial thoughts on facing the Utes on Tuesday night?
Still running a very similar system. I think Ezra is a little more aggressive. He's playing more minutes now for them. He's now their leading scorer probably in the last 4 or 5 games. He's pretty much asserted himself more, but the system is still very similar to what they were doing before, offensively and defensively.
Hey, Coach, Andrew Cherico. I'm just curious, what's the mindset going into this tournament? It's kind of like a reset for you guys to start off on a clean slate and trying to make a run in the conference tournament.
That's exactly how we're looking at it. We've discussed that the last few days about the opportunity. It's a brand new season. Everybody's starting back at 0-0 again, and so we can make our dreams come true. So for us, it's just a function of one game at a time, just playing our best basketball, and that's how we're approaching it. And so our guys have been good. Yesterday in our practice and in our meetings in the film room, our guys have been good. Excited to still be playing.
Johnny, when you look at this going into the second time you've been in the Big 12 tournament, do you change anything? Is there anything you learned from the first time around that you can maybe incorporate? I know it's a whole bunch of new guys, it's 10 new guys, but is there anything you can maybe incorporate, maybe that helps maybe kind of ease some of the pressure maybe there might be on this tournament?
Well, we can just talk about, we can share our experiences. Darius was in it last year, of course. Jalen was in it. Niels and Tyler, so they both were in it as well. We can just share our experience about just how amazing a tournament it is and how amazing atmosphere, and we need to be prepared for that. It's going to be a great, vibe in this building, and we have to be ready. Other than that, it's just one game at a time. You have to, try to win and continue to move forward. That's got to be the goal. And so that's going to happen. There's a finite, finality to this thing. So you have to have, a sense of urgency, understanding that, you have to, be desperate when you go out there to play to make it happen that you can continue to compete.
Coach, what did you learn from your season finale in Morgantown that you want the team to apply against the Utes in the Big 12 tournament or however long you're in Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament?
Well, we need to capture our second half. I thought our second half played like we've done a lot the entire season, just to continue to fight, regardless of what the deficit was. Our guys continued to believe we could win and gave ourselves a chance at the end. A minute 36 seconds. It's a 3-point ball game. With ample time. So, I'm just very proud of our guys, the fight that we showed and the defense and the rebounding that we showed in the second half. We were able to defend at a high level and also for the most part, until the very end, we rebounded well.
Coach, were there any particular moments in that West Virginia game in that second half that, was kind of like a turning point to make a go at it? Anything you can point to directly to say this is exactly what we need to do, but do it during a 40-minute period of play?
No, it was more or less just understanding that, the sense of urgency, we wanted to play well. We wanted to end with the win to end the season, and that was our goal. And so we went into it with that in mind. It wasn't happening in the first half, but our guys kept believing that it could happen, and we just kept chipping away at the lead. We just chipped away from the 20-minute mark in the second half all the way down. We just kept chipping away, building momentum through that. I don't think there was a significant play. If any play, it may have been a technical foul. That was caused on, one of their players in regards with Darius that gave us, two free throws and the ball back in a significant moment of the game. So that was big for us to get it to single digits.
Coach, how important is it that going into this tournament, the guys know that they can take no plays off? It seemed like last game, within the final 2 minutes, there was a few rebounds that didn't go your way. And maybe if you guys got on that, it could have changed the game. How important is that for the rest of the tournament?
Well, I would say more important is the attention to detail. I don't think they took the play off. I mean, balls bounce funny, and guys got to make plays on basketballs when they don't bounce their way. And so I don't think we took it off. I just think that, we just our attention to detail has to be there, understanding that the ball can bounce any direction. I have to make sure I get guys on my body, on my back properly to make sure that I can secure the ball like I need to. I would think more of that than anything. But our guys, I never question their effort and their desire to want to do well.
Coach, you guys got a lot of help from the bench last game against Utah. Is that something you're looking for in this matchup again as well?
No, our bench was really good the last time we played him. I think Debo was terrific. We had Juice during that game, and I think he was very good, as well as Tyler Hendricks. And so those guys really gave us a huge lift off the bench. And like I said, excited. Like we believe in our guys, and so in those moments when they step up like that, it just does so much for our team because of our belief in them and their belief in themselves.
Johnny, when
Coach,
you look at this health, the situation you mentioned, Juice is what's his status going into this game? Mikey, obviously, you talked about was probably going to be not be available. Health wise, as a team, how do you guys look going into this game?
We're not at full strength. Obviously, Juice is still day to day, so not sure what his status is going to be for this tournament or even for tomorrow's game. We have to keep on seeing how he continues to respond to rehab and treatment. Uh, and then for the guys that are out that have been out, so that really hasn't changed for us. We've needed guys to step up, and I think coming down the last 5, 6 games of the season, we've had guys stepping up and having to do a little bit more, and they've responded, and that's what you have to have. We like I said, we have a belief in those guys. We recruit them here for a reason, and when the opportunity presents itself, we need them to step forward, and these guys have been stepping forward for the most part.
Coach,
Coach,
continuing to look back on the former, on the last Utah matchup, what are some things you would like to see your guys replicate? What were some things that stood out for you from that last matchup that you would like to see again?
Well, I thought we played a really good pace. Our pace. We got up and down. I thought we got out in transition. I thought that was something that was good. I thought we rebounded the ball offensively, well, especially with their size and length. I thought those two areas were really good. And we had of course they have a great shooter in Gabe Madison. And I thought until the end, we did a good job of kind of, being with him, staying where he was, making sure he didn't really get the looks that he wanted. But like any great player, he found a way at the end to manufacture some baskets, and but that's a credit to him and his ability.
Coach Keyshawn
Coach,
Hall will end the season leading the conference in scoring. I guess we wait to see if he's represented in the all Big 12 teams, which I guess will be announced in short order. Can you just kind of reflect on the impact Keyshawn made for your team, particularly offensively?
Well, I thought he was a huge impact for us offensively. We're into the season, last spring, wanting to, increase our offensive output and looking for a player or two that can come in and help in that regard. And I thought he did do that for us. I thought he came in and gave us a big lift offensively. I thought he complimented Darius, very, very well. And I thought he would have complimented Jalen, well as, also. But yeah, I'm very proud of him because you don't know what's going to happen when you bring a young man to the Big 12. How his adjustment's going to be, how long it's going to take. And for him, he just got better. I thought from preseason he was really good for us. And he was even better, in Big 12 play. And that's a tribute to his work ethic, his belief in himself. And like I said, I never seen a guy put any more time in on trying to improve his game. And I thought he gave us a huge lift, throughout, most of the Big 12 season.
Coach, now with the regular season now behind you, 16 and 15 for it, how do you compare year one and year two from year one in the Big 12, just from a regular season standpoint?
I think it's a difficult one to compare. Seasons are definitely uniquely different with personnel, and especially nowadays where everyone's changing, schools so much. Teams, come in West Virginia, whole new squad. We have 11 new players. So I mean, it's no longer the way it was when you watch a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and you kind of can map that out. Now it's just a whole new team you're playing against. So I do think, with regards to us, I mean, of course, we weren't at full strength. Me, I'm making no excuses. I mean, I don't know how the season would have went if we had Jalen. I know it would have been better, obviously, because you missed one of your best players, and so we would have been, in a little better position probably, during this season than we found ourselves during conference play. But that's life. That's part of basketball. We're not the only team that experienced that. And I thought we made, I thought our guys did a great job of responding, with his absence. You lose a guy who averaged 16 points a game last year in the Big 12. I thought we had some guys step up and give us what they could give us. Of course, they're not going to be Jalen, but they gave us everything they had, and that's all I can ever ask for, and that's all I can ever control.
Coach, just talk about the excitement level of the guys to be able to participate in the tournament, to play some more competitive basketball and have a shot at the championship.
Oh, we're excited. I mean, like I said before, I mean, who doesn't want to be in these moments? You know, you have an opportunity, it's March. So March Madness, they say it for a reason. And anything can happen. You just have to just take the approach, one game at a time and put your best effort out there and then you see where you stand. But a great time. I mean, as me as a coach, a longtime coach and a former player, I love this time of the year. It's one of the best time of the year in sport, to be quite frank, and in sports. And so yeah, I know our guys feel the same way. They're looking forward to getting out there and playing in this atmosphere, and we're excited for this opportunity.
Coach, you're playing in that late game, 9:30 Eastern time. Those games always run later than that. It seems like might be tipping off even later. Is there any adjustments or kind of how do you feel? I guess you have no choice, but how do you feel about playing in the late games, which could go on for several days?
Oh no, I don't mind playing in the late game. The one thing about our team, we've played in different time zones all season. So for us, we face time zones similar to this. So I don't think it's something that, will disrupt us from that standpoint. We just have to make sure we prepare properly during the day. The day becomes longer, of course. So we have to make sure that we are keeping our guys on schedule, keeping our guys on a routine that they're somewhat familiar with, so that there's some continuity, before we play the game.
Johnny, what is it about March Madness that people love? Coaches, players, fans. What is it about the March Madness? I mean, you've played through it, you coached in it. What is it about that makes it so special for everyone?
Well, I just think it's a unique event, where first of all you have, a lot of your institutions are represented, so all the fans and supporters are gathering around, excited for their teams, or if their team's not involved, they're excited for other teams that they're rooting for. I think because it's such an abrupt end to anyone's season. I think just the heightened awareness from everyone, the players, like I said, our supporters, our student body, everyone realized that every possession, every shot that to the last second, how many, last second shots did you see just yesterday, really, in preparation for the, NCAA tournament and for, conference tournaments as well. So that's what it's about. And it just creates amazing memories. I mean, just some emotions that pour out of these students and these student athletes you can't replicate that. Television can't duplicate, live sports of that magnitude when it's that finality, that finite, period where there's nothing, but hey, it's basically, they say the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat is right there on everyone's face, during that time. And like I said, it's beautiful.
Coach, what does this team need to do to extend this run in the postseason, keep playing for as long as possible?
We need to defend and rebound at a high level. We need to make sure we just defend and rebound at a high level. That'll give us a chance to compete against teams that we're going to face. First of all, we're just looking at one team. It's Utah. And that's all that we're concerned with right now is Utah and giving our best effort in those areas I just mentioned, defending and rebounding.
Coach, you mentioned relying on former experience to guide the team through the tournament. Talk about the leaders on this team like Darius Johnson and Keyshawn, and how you expect them to step up.
Well, I expect those guys to lead first of all, vocally, being able to, with the younger guys to kind of, explain to them, hey, what we're going through, especially in real time when we're playing in games and in practice this afternoon, to make sure that our mindset is set on, what's at hand. Like I said before, and that's Utah and focusing on their personnel, focusing on our game plan so we can execute properly tomorrow. That's going to be important for those guys to deliver that message in their own way. I'm going to deliver it to the team, but they need to echo that message in their own words, so it doesn't sound like it's coach talk from them. It's coming directly from them. And those guys have been really good at that. They've been really good teammates, and they've been able to help our guys, I think, throughout the season just by just their belief in the players that we have. And I think they've encouraged them, and that's why I think some of the guys have been able to respond late in the season when their opportunity and their number were called.
Everybody all set? All right.
All right, guys, take care.
Well, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, John.
Keyshawn, it looks like you've ended the regular season leading the conference in scoring. I think it's over 20 points in conference games, 18.5 overall. I mean, we wait to see. We haven't heard about, all conference teams and that kind of stuff yet, but I would think you would be fairly well represented on that list when it does come out. Just can you talk us about kind of what you learned about yourself as a basketball player? I know you obviously were a great scorer last year at George Mason as well, but to do it on the bigger stage and to do it against Big 12 competition, how do you kind of reflect on this season for you, I guess?
I reflect, it was a good season personally. Yeah, personally, it was a good season. I always knew I could score at any level. You get what I'm saying? Things like that. I just needed the chance to get to the top level. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot about myself. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you're coming up from lower conferences, you have a little doubt, little doubt, not that much, but you have a little doubt like, oh, is this gonna work or this gonna work? But my coaches and my teammates just gave me confidence through it all and said, man, just play your game, be the player you was. Like my coaches told me, be the scorer I was, and put me in right positions to exceed in that level. I mean, exceed in that spot. So I'm blessed to be on the lead, like the leading scorer in the conference. But I didn't finish out how I wanted to, or the team we didn't finish out how we wanted to.
Keyshawn, talk about the opportunity to go into the conference tournament on a clean slate and have an opportunity to make a run.
Like Coach said, it's three parts of a season: preseason, and then regular season, like conference and everything, and then now it's tournament season. So we're all 0-0. Every team is 0-0. So we get a clean slate, and we can do some damage. Not a lot of teams will really want to see us if we lock in on the things we need to. Like we started down at West Virginia 20, we was down 27, but once we picked it up in the second half. We got down to closest three. So things like that, we just have to start off early and not not get a down start like a lead, like give teams a lead and try to catch up. So it's gonna be big for us if we just stay locked in on things in the first half, like defense and things like that. We can hang with anybody.
Would you say that knowing that this could be the final game that the team would be playing with more urgency, not to get off to those slower starts?
Yeah, definitely. This will be a game where we have to lock in, like, because we have to send our seniors on the right way. I know that's a cliche thing to say for a lot of teams, a lot of people. But we have to send our seniors off on the right slate, and just this will be the last time this team will be together. You don't know how things are gonna go with other people, but like this will be the last time we'll have Darius on this team, Debo or Benny. So like the last time this team will be together as a group. So you know what I'm saying? You want to finish off strong and things like that. So I think we're gonna make a run. I think we can make a run. We just have to start off with way more urgency and pick it up and just get lost in our fight.
Eshawn, how do you turn the page after West Virginia? You know, you got 8 rebounds, but you went 1 for 10 from the floor. So how do you turn the page from a game like that to go into this Big 12 tournament, especially with the stakes on the line?
Really just nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's basketball. People are gonna have ups and downs through the season and things like that. Lucky I had way more ups than my downs. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of like it's a tough conference. You know what I'm saying? More and more deep into the season, teams are on a scout different for you and things like that. So you can't let it affect you. You just gotta talk to your coaches and see where they put you in different positions and on the court, and then have you succeed that way. You get what I'm saying? Even if it's not scoring for me, which that's a big part of my game, it's not scoring for me. Try to do everything else the right way. So I'm just gonna let the game come to me, things like that, and just keep playing aggressive. I'm gonna be the same way, shoot my same shots. You get what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? I put in the work for it, so I can't think about it and just pray they go in. And the same way, just be assertive.
Keyshawn, this is I just asked Johnny about this. March Madness is so special, this time of year, going in conference tournaments. What does it mean to you? And what would it mean to you to make a run? You talked about making a run with your teammates. What would it mean for you guys to make a big run in the Big 12?
It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot for us, man. It would feel great. My career of being in college, I haven't been in March Madness, so I actually want to get that feeling. I don't want to leave college or things like that to never have that feeling. So that would be a great feeling for me just to make it to the tournament and to give these guys to go out. Like DJ never been to the tournament. He's been here 4 years. And it'll just be really a great thing for the coaches. You know what I'm saying? I really want to do it for the coaches. I hope everybody on the team wants to do it for the coaching staff, just to show everybody that we can. I know we had a season everybody didn't think we were gonna have a better season, but we can pick it up. Now we have a second, like a third life. I'm gonna say that. We have a third life in that sense. So we just want to do it for the coaches, especially me, and try to show everybody that we try to do everything we can, and we trying to win. It's just certain things we have to put together and not start off slow or execute at the right time at the end of the game. So just trying to do it for the coaches, and they'll mean a lot.
Keyshawn, you're playing Utah in the first round and you're playing them again. You just played them last month. Personally, what's something you want to improve on against the Utes and also that you guys want to keep that worked last time when you guys were able to get the win?
Man, what we want to improve on is not letting them get off a lot of threes. They connected on a lot of plays. They're like one of the top teams in the country, like top 10 in the country in assists, like so connecting plays. So we're trying to take that away from their game, man. They can shoot it very well, they can create, and they have bigger bodies. So we're gonna try to limit their threes as much as we can. You know, they have great players like Gabe Madsen. He shoots unconscious. He's a great shooter. So things like that. We're trying to stop them different things, and we're just trying to execute on the rebounding side too, because they rebound very great. They had 21 offensive rebounds in a game, 16, 17, like things like that. So we're trying to stop that. And that's going to be our game plan, just so we can limit them to one shot and then we get on a roll.
Key, you
Keyshawn,
talked
is this a
about
team capable of winning 5 games in 5 days, which is what it will take to win the Big 12 tournament and that automatic bid to the NCAA tournament?
I think this is a team. I think we're a team that's ready for it. I know we had our ups and downs through the season. We switched up some lineups, did different things, but now that we see what works and things like that, and we see what we can do. Like I know we always knew the potential, but now we see we actually could do. Even coming back from 27 in West Virginia in a hostile environment, and they only been down three. I know we didn't pull it off, but it's just like we're right there. And then that, like Coach Dawkins say, it's that little part. That's the hardest part of getting over just that little thing. So I think we're capable enough. We just have to put everything to the side and just take it one game at a time, man. You know what I'm saying? Just think about the next opponent that's in front of us and being that opponent. And we can really do anything. You know what I'm saying? As long as it start on defense and rebounding for us, because scoring, it's not a problem. Even if I'm not going, DJ going, even if Dieter's not going, Mustafa, somebody's on the team gonna go, because our offensive coordinator, Coach Coach Hood, he gets us in the right sets, and he gets us in the right sets and things like that, and put us around, move us around. So it's really gonna start on the defensive rebound and show our heart.
Key, you talked about having a period of doubt as you first moved into the Big 12. Is there a moment that you can pinpoint throughout the season where you really felt that you started to belong?
Um, Really the first, like you talking about conference play?
Yeah, sure.
Well, conference play where I feel like I belong, really, as soon as conference started, I knew I was gonna like go at Texas Tech. I wanted to prove like it's like where I come from. You know what I'm saying? I never had really many coaches after me. I had zero offers coming out of high school. Had to go prep and things like that. Come from Cleveland. Wasn't too many coaches coming to Cleveland, Ohio to recruit or things like that. So that was a thing for me when I versed these big teams, or I know once I knew I wanted to get in conference play. I knew I wanted to pick it up because my non-conference wasn't the best to my standard. I know I still averaged like 15, but it wasn't the best to my standard. I think I could have did better than like that. So I know once I got in conference, I tried to pick it up. And the first game in the conference, when I didn't miss a shot in the first half, I knew it was a moment where like, okay, I can take over this league, or this is like, you know what I'm saying? My confidence translated over like, okay, I could do this anywhere.
You guys are playing the late game tomorrow night, and then that will continue if you guys continue to win with these late games. I mean, how do you feel about that? Does that make a difference to you? Is preparation any different?
Preparation is no different for us, man. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna stay locked in. It's no different for us. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're gonna be sleepy or nothing. We're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Around that time, so it's not like none of us go to sleep at 8:30. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? We all still up. We're all still up. So I think it's not gonna be no different. I mean, we get more time to get our minds right and things like that instead of early games. So that'll be great.
Keyshawn, going into the West Virginia game, I saw that the UCF Men's Hoops Twitter account ended up posting some of your photos on their account and all that. I just wanted to ask, just what's it like to have that to have that, and also just how you use taking photos to kind of help take in everything as you travel to all these Big 12 destinations, and have you gotten any good photos there in Kansas City yet?
Oh man, yeah, they let me have a camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to show my versatility on and off the court. I can do a little bit of everything. I'm a gamer, I'm a hooper, I'm a photographer now. So things like that. I take up communication. I take up communication in my degree. So I want to be a sports analyst probably when I'm done playing basketball, things like that. So it was fun. I just went around the plane while everybody was asleep, taking bangers of them. You know what I'm saying? I tried to get Coach Dawkins while he was asleep, but he don't sleep. So things like that. I was just trying to have some fun, loosen up everybody. You know what I'm saying? On a road trip, that was going to be a hostile environment. Here, I haven't taken no pictures yet, but since you said that, I might take some pictures at practice today or things like that and see if I can get another post on Instagram.
Keyshawn, I mean, I know you're focused on this tournament. You're focused on trying to get to the NCAA tournament or the postseason. Have you thought about what your future is? You talked about communications degree, but have you thought about what your next step is after the season?
Um, nah, really, I haven't thought about it. Not as much. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're all human, so you get to thinking about things like this, or I'm good. I'm playing good enough for this. Things I'm playing good enough for that. But I haven't thought about like what I'm gonna do. I've just been trying to stay focused and locked in on the season. You know what I'm saying? And just stay there for my season. I feel like it'll be selfish of me to go into my own things, thinking of my own things when we still have a season going on, especially with these seniors. You know what I'm saying? Nobody feels their way because this is their last year. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my senior year in high school. I know it doesn't compare to college. My senior year in high school, I was crying for my last game. So things like that, I don't want to send these guys out on a selfish note that I'm thinking about other places or the NBA, the pros, and things like that. So no, I just been trying to keep that stuff to the side of my head and not think about them things. I just been trying to stay locked in and keep like playing basketball because when you get too comfortable and thinking you have arrived, that's the worst thing ever because you know what I'm saying, you get complacent. So I try not to get comfortable. I feel like I still have more to prove because you know what I'm saying? We let a lot of games slip, and who's to say if we didn't let a lot of games slip, I can be All-American. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I try to not get too complacent. I feel like I still have a lot to do, and I let off a lot, and I'm still behind from my peers of my class and that's succeeding in life too. So I try to just stay in my own lane and run my own race.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A few weeks ago, you put out a Twitter post defending Coach Dawkins and giving the UCF fans a little something to hope for. What kind of prompted you to put that out?
It probably what made me put that out is just man being there for Coach Dawkins because everybody's like I don't get me wrong, coaches is the head of the team and they're our leader and things like that, but we're the players on the court at the end of the day. We have to produce, we have to do our thing out there. They giving us the game plan, right things to execute and things like that. So we can't put all the all of it on Coach Dawkins. It's our fault. You know what I'm saying? I know they want to take most of the blame because that's their job, but it's really us. And I see him getting bashed a lot for different things. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't at UCF for the years he's been here, but this year I know it's not really all his fault. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot going on with this season. Injuries, we missing one of our better players, Jalen Sellers. Then we have a lot of other injuries, sicknesses, and things like that. We just been battling what we could battle with. You know what I'm saying? Doing things like that. We just have to execute. They give us the game plan. They show us a lot of film. We do a lot of things as a team. So we just have to execute on our part. It's not all the coach's fault. So I'll just be trying to show him that because he always have our back. I was trying to show that the team has his back in the aspect.
Keyshawn, you talked about being a basketball analyst. Former UCF guards Mike O'Donnell and BJ Taylor have kind of gone that route. I don't know how much you've talked to them, but what have you kind of learned from them on and off the court, and how that's kind of affect your game this season? What lessons can you take from them going to the Big 12 tournament?
Really, I see their analysts. I really haven't got as much time as I want to with them because I've been so super locked into the season and not just trying to indulge in everything else. But yeah, I haven't talked to them as much, but knowing what I heard about them guys, they were great players, especially BJ and his run to the tournament and things like that. So just seeing how he can translate from being one of the better players and one of the better guards in college and then translate into an analyst and how his takes is. I listen to the games. I listen to him back and things like that when I watch the game and his takes on the game. I know he's a smart guy. And O'Donnell, he's been in our practices. he's been at our practices probably during the summer and preseason. I chopped it up with him for a little while, and he had nothing but good things to say about me. So I just been watching from afar and how they move as a professional in their aspect.
You talked about having no offers coming out of high school. Now looking back, what would you tell that high school Key, just how to keep motivated and how to keep going?
Um, I would just tell high school kid just stay close to God. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of dark nights where I was upset. I feel like I was better than a lot of people, and in my head, probably cried a night or two. Like, why am I not where they at? You know what I'm saying? Questioning God and things like that. So I would just tell him tell young kid just stay close to God, just stay praying, stay in the gym. And the biggest thing, my motto, what I go by is just bet on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have your time, and then your time is gonna come, and things like that. So I'll just continue to bet on myself and run my own race. You know what I'm saying? I try not to get caught up in everybody else thing and what they're doing, but it's hard when you feel like you didn't play half of these dudes and did this to half of these dudes, um, had good performances against half of these guys. But I just tell myself, bet on myself and look in the mirror. Like, was I even ready for them things? Was I even ready for that? My body size, you know what I'm saying? I was 300 pounds at the time and things like that. Was I even ready for that type of, you know what I'm saying, that type of blessing? So I just try to stay locked on myself and grind myself.
Keyshawn, of course, as we all know, tomorrow's a big day. You have, of course, been in and around the team as always. What's a good word or phrase to kind of capture the mood in the squad right now?
A word or a phrase? A phrase, I would say, get lost in the fight. That's what our shirt. Don't our shirt say that? Yeah, our shirt says that get lost in the fight. So I would just say that would be a good phrase for us. Just getting lost in the fight and not worrying about nothing else or what tomorrow holds and things like that. Let's just worry about today. Today has its own worries. So let's just worry about today and let's worry about winning today. So that's going to be our main thing and our motto for going in for today, tomorrow, and for the rest of the term. Just get lost in the fight and just try to win as much as we can.
Everybody all set? Awesome. Thanks, Key.
I appreciate you
Thanks,
guys.
Keyshawn.